Good morning guys, a chilly morning actually here in Mosul, Iraq. I'm very happy to be back here in Mosul, some of my favorite places here in Iraq, a very special place, and it's been about 3 or 4 months since I was last here, and I'm excited to see if there's been any changes that I can show you guys, and of course just to check out Mosul, check out the beautiful castle here, or the ruins of the castle, the bazaar, and of course just meeting the lovely people of Mosul. So we are up super early. I don't know if you can see, the sunrise hasn't even gone up yet. It's about 6:30 a.m. and the whole group is here. And we are actually currently walking to the old castle on the big banks of the River Tigris here in Mosul. So I'll catch you guys in a few minutes. For those of you who don't know, Mosul is a city in the far north of Iraq that was occupied by ISIS from 2014 until 2017. The city was liberated by the Iraqi army in 2017, but 4 years later, and most of the old town of Mosul is still a large pile of rubble. Of course, they're working around the clock to rebuild this once beautiful city, with a lot of help from NGOs and organizations such as UNESCO to help restore their historic religious and listed residential buildings. Over 30,000 people lost their lives here in Mosul during the ISIS occupation, with both a lot of economic and personal hardship since then, and yet the people you meet here are overwhelmingly friendly and resilient. As it's been 4 months since my last visit to Mosul, I'm excited to see what sort of progress is being made here in rebuilding the city to its former glory. So you're currently just walking to the castle. I just thought I would show you some of the things we are seeing on the way, such as this battered old car, some of the ruins of the old town. Our guide just told us that when the Iraqi army came during the liberation of Mosul, they started making markings on the building to let people know, what was going on inside of these buildings. Is it ISIS? Is it families? And here in the red, they've actually written that there's families inside. So just to be aware that there are families inside of this area. This is an example of some of the signs you can see on buildings here. This is by a company apparently called Tetra Tech, and just telling kids and people what not to touch, what not to step on. Things that you can find in the buildings here in Mosul. So while we don't have that long here in Mosul, we do have a rough plan of what we're going to do. We want to try lekmajin, which is a traditional breakfast here in Mosul, sort of like a flatbread with egg on it. We want to go see the sunrise at the castle, which is where we are walking to right now. And then we would like to walk around the old town a little bit and see the reconstruction of the famous mosque and minaret here in Mosul. So anything else we see, hopefully maybe a visit to the bazaar, as I absolutely love the bazaar here in Mosul. Always lots of interesting people there and cool stuff to see and buy. And that's kind of it. We're going to be heading onwards after that, but I'll show you as much of Mosul as I possibly can. Oh, this is a really good example of new and old. To the right, you've got some new buildings. The sun is starting to rise. And then you've got an example of some of the destroyed buildings here in Mosul that they're doing a lot of work on to restore, to clear the rubble. Definitely building on new bricks, trying to fix these beautiful old buildings. You have a totally shelled out building to the left, a new sort of hotel building in the middle, and more buildings on the right that need help. Here, UNESCO builds the first child-friendly school in Mosul. So here guys, you can see another sign where it's written in Arabic that families are inside. Sometimes it might be written by the family themselves, or it could be written by the Iraqi army after the liberation of Mosul. And the reason they put the writing on the wall like this is to let NGOs know that there is a family inside. So if they're coming around and they're giving out food or giving out water or giving out aid, and then also like for their own protection, just to let the government know, let NGOs know there's a family inside, we need protection, don't endanger us. I just want to take a quick break from this video to let you guys know that this video is kindly sponsored by Skillshare. Without sponsors like Skillshare, I would not be able to continue traveling the world and making these travel videos such as this amazing series from Iraq. So, what is Skillshare? Skillshare is an easy to use educational platform where you can sign up to all sorts of fun classes created by your favorite YouTubers, Instagrammers, content creators, teaching you how to monetize your YouTube, how to edit videos, how to use Lightroom to make your Instagram pictures look better, how to work the manual settings on a camera, and all sorts of wide range of classes that you might be interested in to learn a new skill. You can find reviews beneath all of the classes that you're looking at to make sure that the class is right for you and that the reviews are good before you sign up to a class. There's actually no limit to the amount of classes you do once you sign up and have a monthly membership, so you can do as many classes as you like and learn as many new skills as you want. Because Skillshare is sponsoring this video, they're offering the first 1,000 people to sign up with my link below 1 month's free membership. So if you would like to sign up to Skillshare, learn a new skill, maybe become a YouTuber, then click the link down below in the description and be sure you're one of the first 1,000 people to use the link to get 1 month's free membership from Skillshare. Okay, let's get back to exploring Mosul. Just arrived up here at Vashtavia Castle. This is, or was, the main castle here in Mosul. It was part of the fortified city, so there used to be a wall that used to go the whole way around the old town of Mosul. And this castle, Vashtavia Castle, dates back 1,400 years, so 1,400 years. And they did say actually that a lot of it was already ruined before ISIS occupied Mosul and of course the liberation of Mosul. I think it did maybe get a bit more destroyed during that time, but it was already quite destroyed before then. But it is one of the most beautiful viewpoints here in Mosul, and you can really appreciate the beauty of the city, gorgeous river views of the River Tigris as you can see, and a really nice place to come for sunset. Sunrise, I mean, probably sunset as well. But if you can get yourself out of bed really early and get yourself up here at about 7 AM or 6:45 AM for sunrise, it's absolutely beautiful, and we've all loved just hanging up here and taking in the beautiful views of Mosul. After checking out the castle just after sunrise, we all decided to head to a local restaurant to try a traditional breakfast from Mosul. Oh, we've come to Al Fandi for breakfast. Oh, sorry. So they've got the kahi and the kremer, which is like what we had in Baghdad. And then also he's making the bread for the lahmajin. And this guy is preparing the meat that goes on top.
أنت أحلى الناس في نظري جل من سواك يا قواري. And this is the medium size.
Okay, so our breakfast just arrived. Lahmajin. So it is like super thin bread with meat and then egg on top. Delicious. It's actually pretty easy to eat because it's not that thick.
Providing services, I guess. You are perfect, buddy.
It's very good.
So خفف عليك كيف اليوم. أحسن لك.
Right now we're walking to one of the most famous churches here in Mosul, a church that was destroyed during the battle with ISIS. And one of the most famous things about this church now is it is actually where the Pope came to speak in March of this year. He stood on this stadium over here, this podium over here, to talk to the people of Mosul. Oh, here you can see, guys, the devastation inside of this church. It's just pure rubble. Our guide just told us that this church was about 700 years old, and it was actually used for a church and also a school. It was an Orthodox church. You can see here behind me like the basketball hoops. So that kind of tells that it was more than just a church. It really is just so sad to see the devastation inside of this once absolutely beautiful church. But you know, you get hope because you can see all the rebuilding work that they're doing here in Mosul. You can see all the hard work they're doing. And the fact that the Pope came here in March and did do a talk right here on the podium shows you that he felt it was safe enough to come here to Mosul and talk to the people of Mosul. So definitely gives you hope for the future of Mosul. So guys, I was here in Mosul about 3 months ago, and I'm telling you, I can already see a difference. There is so much construction going on right here. You can even hear behind me, reviving Mosul Old City. There really is so much work going on already. And you can actually see the difference. Like this pathway, this road is totally cleared. Whereas I feel like the last time I was here, it wasn't as cleared. There's diggers, there's JCBs, there's cranes everywhere. There's a lot of work going on here right now. Oh, we've just met some people that are working for UNESCO, and they said that we can walk with them to see some of the old houses, the heritage houses within Old Town that they are currently renovating or fixing. As luck would have it, one of the girls here that is working for UNESCO is actually Irish, which I thought was quite funny, and she couldn't understand why there was tourists here in Mosul. And so obviously we explained that I had been here 3 months ago and I had loved visiting Mosul so much I wanted to come back, and I've brought the group back with me. And she offered to show us some of the projects she's working on here. Her partner's job is to help with the reconstruction of heritage religious buildings, and her job is to help reconstruct the more cultural buildings like heritage houses and listed houses. So we're just walking right into the Old Town now. This is an old historical house inside of Old Mosul that UNESCO is working to restore. You can see all of these old big blocks. Ooh, that is purple. Oh, look. It's like still kids' toys and blankets. Kids' toy.
The Pope Francis.
Yeah?
He attended here too.
So this is another place where Pope Francis came and talked to the people of Mosul. UNESCO joins the Moslawis in welcoming Pope Francis. Here UNESCO works to revive the spirit of Mosul. This is another one of the churches that Pope Francis came to and talked to the people of Mosul. So they have a lovely sign here saying UNESCO joins the people of Mosul in welcoming Pope Francis. And then you can see on the construction site behind me that UNESCO is working to rebuild this church. So it doesn't look like they've restarted reconstructing or preserving the other church yet, but this one they're definitely working on. And there's even a sign that says UNESCO is working to revive the spirit of Mosul. And you can see they're working pretty hard. There's a big group of them working here behind me, and we also just met some people from UNESCO. Wow. So this is the old church. It's now kind of just under all the rubble. Bishop House.
Do you smell something?
Yeah. Oh, if you see these tunnels here, apparently ISIS made families that were living in these beautiful old houses to make these tunnels so that ISIS could go into one tunnel and move from house to house without the opposition seeing them. Oh, we have finished our tour of Old Mosul and now we are in the fish market here in Mosul Old Town. A bit of a smell, not gonna lie, and there's huge fish everywhere, and I'm pretty sure down the end they're cooking mazgoof, so we need to go down and check that out. Huge. Fried fish. Ooh, it's so big! Well, right now we're in the covered market here in Mosul. A lot of the area here is newly built because obviously a lot of it got destroyed when ISIS was here. But there is loads of amazing shops here, lots of spices, lots of different foods, and there's nice kind of hustle and bustle. It's a really nice market, but not too busy either. So this guy is making sesame oil. Try some. How does this work? Oh, shukran. This guy is just giving me some sesame oil to try. Now I'm like, okay, before we finish up our tour here in Mosul, I have to show you some of the more beautiful, newly kind of decorated, newly renovated parts of the city. And one of those parts is right opposite the mosque, one of the most famous mosques in the city that UNESCO is currently renovating and fixing up. And there's this beautiful street that was totally destroyed during the time of ISIS, and now it has been totally restored, and it is so colorful, so beautiful, flower boxes, lots of cute little souvenir stores. You guys won't even believe that this is Mosul. Oh, before I show you, this is the street that we're currently on. This is what it looked like just a few years ago. 1 or 2 years ago, this here is what this street looked like. And right now, this is the big reveal. You've got lots of cute little colourful shops, and then you've got a kind of tea house and cultural centre right here, which I will show you on the inside. So again, this is what it used to look like, and this is what it looks like now. As you can probably see, there's a long way to go to restore beautiful Mosul, but the entire community is coming together to make it happen, and I can't wait to return again next year to see the progress and visit the wonderful people who make this Iraqi city
so special.